I was asked about the Downton Abbey tour or the Highclere Castle tour. So that was what today's agenda mostly consisted of because it takes some time to do something like that from London. It was almost like a vacation on a vacation on a vacation. Wait, and only two of those, not three. Downton Abbey. So I did the do-it-yourself version. I went online back in January. You have to buy tickets very early, and I bought myself a ticket. I emailed them and said, is this the best way? They said, yeah, just take the train and take a taxi. And, why bother with a tour? Well, yeah, you could do it that way. And I did, and it worked. And there are some benefits. Let's see, the biggest benefit is you get to, you plan your own schedule and walk around when you want and leave when you want. So that's kind of cool. But on the other hand, the cost. Now I looked up online just a few minutes ago to see what's the cost. About $138, so about 100, let's say 120 pounds, just for fun's sake. Yeah, let's just say 120 pounds. I'm not gonna think about it anymore. 120 pounds. Let's see. I paid 75 for the train. No. 50. Well, all right, 50 pounds for the train tickets, and then $22. Gosh. I can't do the math again. I already did it all and I promptly forgot it. But I would say it was about $110 of expenses of my own money for the cab. The cab was, or even Uber. I mean, to get to the airport, 6 miles, not the airport, but it's 6 miles from the train station, Newbury train station, to the castle. And even then, you can either take a cab, but there's not really cabs there, or take Uber, but there might not be an Uber driver there. I got lucky just because one happened to be from London. That's how I got my ride back to the thing, but I had to take a cab out. So it worked out. But overall, I don't know. If I had taken the tour, I would have gotten to see Oxford, which I've seen. And then some of the churches, or Crawley got married or something. There was probably more benefit, and all the informational stuff on the tour bus that they would tell you about. So it probably would be better if you're going to do it. Yeah, do the tour. I don't think it's even any more expensive to take the tour. It's probably a wash. Probably comes out about even. So consider the tour if you're going to do that. Otherwise, you also have to be pretty good at planning. You have to train schedules and get off at the right station, all that stuff. It's not rocket science or by any means. If you could navigate decently, you could do it. But the tour would probably be so much easier, especially if they come by your hotel and pick you up, and some do. I don't know if this one does, but yeah. Lesson learned. As for the tour itself, when you get to the castle, you go inside. I got there around 10:30, so it was good timing. I walked pretty much right in, and then inside, no photography. I knew this going into it, but it's still disappointing. There's so much beautiful stuff in there to see, and you just think, I want to take pictures of it. I don't remember, because I know from experience, I know that you forget. Things just go out of your mind. I'll forget, and there's a reason I say this that I'll mention in a few minutes. But yeah, so I was seeing there's a beautiful tapestries and artwork and the paintings and the antiques and the design. It was built by the same guy, or designed by the same guy that did the Parliament building, I believe. So it's just wow. The architecture inside just feels like you're. Wow, yeah. And each room, and some of the smaller rooms, of course, you never saw on TV because they were too small to film in. But the bigger rooms, of course, you did. And you get to see it, and there's photos of them, doing the scenes, and you think, I want to be doing that for a living. But then, yeah, what can you do? So that was kind of fun. Yeah, it was just kind of magical being in there and just seeing this is where it took place, is the dining room. And you don't see everything. The servants' quarters aren't. Not to spoil the illusion, the servants' quarters aren't there anymore. The downstairs isn't quite the same, but you just see some of the dining room, the library, the entrance, the outside. All that good stuff's there, so that makes it worth it. And it's not terribly expensive anyway, once you're there especially. They do have some extra exhibitions, the Egypt Gallery, because the backstory is very interesting, and the guy Caravan, he worked with Carter on the finding of the Egyptian King Tut, basically, back then. So he was a partner with this other guy that they in the last year, 1922, they finally found King Tut, but one guy died. The guy from Downton Abbey, or the manor, I should say, Highclere. He died before he could realize his discovery, the depth of it. So that was kind of sad, but. He also a lot of the stuff you see there was used in the plots, the racing the fast cars, the horse racing, the turning the abbey into a hospital during World War One. All that's like taken from history, so that was kind of neat. All that stuff's pretty good. No photos, hated that part, but what can you do? Rules are rules. But I was going through the Egyptian thing and looking at all these detail, and a lot of it's replicas, and they say this is just recreations of it because the good stuff's back in Cairo because they want to hold on to their stuff. But I realized how much I'm going to remember and how much I'm going to forget. Over the years, you start like realizing that a lot of it. I saw an Egyptian, the King Tut, when it came through Seattle, and I thought that was really cool, but I realized I don't remember any of it, like the details. Some of the things kind of, and especially what's in the pictures, of course. But you just look at things, you read things, and if it's totally trivial, it flows out of your mind in time. So, I mean, I realize I could spend time online looking, and some of the stuff I do, and there are things I do remember, like the British Museum. I remember looking at the Rosetta Stone years ago, so there are points and bits that do get remembered, but some of the stuff is fascinating, but I have to balance it between what I think is kind of cool, but I know I'm going to forget, so I did that. So I try not to take too long on the things that are just going to gone, vanished, like the days of our lives. The weather's getting kind of cloudy. All right, but that's a summary of the Highclere Castle, and it's worth it, but again, just take a tour. Find a cheap one, of course. Viator is a decent place, and good reviews. Okay, more later. It's time to go see Macbeth! I'm not superstitious.